Hi everyone, and welcome to Trek China. Well, today is the final day of 2023. Starting at 11 PM tonight, we are going to be holding a live stream between the Yuzhong Media Center and the platform Chongqing. So to make life easier with the expected crowds and traffic restrictions, I've just checked myself in bright and early at the Dakin Hotel in downtown Chongqing, just 100 or 200 meters from the Liberation Monument. So in a few moments, I want to take you street side and we're going to capture some of those New Year vibes, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my previous experiences of Christmas and New Year's in Chongqing. Let's go. Right, we've made it down into the lobby, and you know, usually out and about in Chongqing, you don't really get a big Christmas atmosphere. But nevertheless, if you come to some places like the malls here and also the big hotels, you're going to find a lot of things like Christmas trees and some simple decorations. At the moment, it's coming up to about 4 PM in the afternoon, and as you can see, we've got a really lively atmosphere around. I mean, I suppose on an ordinary day, you know, it's going to be pretty quiet. But every year when it comes to Christmas Eve, sometimes Christmas Day or New Year's Eve, you're going to find lots of people around. Now, like I said, the Liberation Monument is only a few hundred meters up that way. And it's still early days at the moment, but as you can see, there's already a big crowd around. And when you're walking around here in the Jiefangbei Pedestrian area, but there are always some little surprises. So every now and then you're going to come across things like this, the old traditional British telephone box. The way people here spend Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve has changed a little bit. I remember in those first years in Chongqing from 2003 to 2007, you know, of course during that time I was still a lot younger, I was in my early to mid-20s, and I would come to places like this. And something that was really popular in those days is that people would buy all of these inflatable mallets, and also they had these spray cans as well. So every few tens of meters we used to get mobbed on by a group of youngsters, and yeah, they spray our hair with these foam cans, and yeah, we get racked with the mallets. So I suppose you could say things have become a little bit more civilized when it comes to Christmas Eve and New Year's, but nevertheless we're going to get a really good atmosphere a bit later. Now, if you would believe it, back in the 1950s, the Liberation Monument used to be the tallest building in Chongqing, and that is really hard to believe. If I point the camera upwards, you're going to see it's now dwarfed by all of these skyscrapers. Now, on Christmas and New Year's Eve, you can usually drive to the Jiefangbei Pedestrian area until about 4 o'clock. But then after that, they have the traffic restrictions in place, and basically nobody can drive across the bridges or into the area. So fortunately, I have the car parked into the hotel, and I will be driving away basically until midday tomorrow. All right, I've just had Clarissa pulling out my sleeve, and she's seen this, it's called the Minsu Wenhuaguan. So it's kind of like a folk culture museum. And she's seen this gigantic dragon head model, so let's just take this opportunity and have a look inside. Aren't you scared of the dragon? No. No? And I can see there's a giant frog outside too. Alright, so we've got this little Buddha statue over here. We've got all of these little things hung up here with some personal messages on them. We've got some other signs here. So this is Fog City. We can buy some of these heart-shaped plastic or like wooden blocks, and we can write a little message on there for 10 yuan. We've got some of the like little ornaments like key rings, bracelets. Also these nice, you know, wooden combs. These are really popular as gifts here. Okay, so I get how this works then. So they make a big fuss with all of this colour and activity here, but it's basically a way of attracting people to get into the souvenir stalls down below. You know, I know all about these places, but I suppose I could take you inside and we can have a look at some of the special products of Chongqing. No visit to Chongqing is complete without the hot pot. You can just heat up a wok, and you can put one of these slabs of hot pot condiments in there, and You just buy your own vegetables, you know, meats, you can get those in the supermarkets, and you can cook this up yourselves at home. So look, here's from Yuzhong District, and this is one of the specialty products from there. So these are quite famous in Yuzhong, right? So these are dried peach slices. Do you like them? Honestly? So. We also have a lot of food streets in here. There is the Jiefangbei Pedestrian, but that's not the only option. We can come into little outlets like this, and as you can see, we've got stalls selling all sorts, you know, everything you could ever want, basically. Okay, Chris's head has been turned by these sweets here, naturally. But you're going to find lots of other things in here. Behind me, there's a little travel agent, and there are lots of things you can do in a day in Chongqing, and have some good recommendations here. I suppose some of the things you really want to try out, if you don't have enough time for the Three Gorges cruise, there is also the 2 overnight cruises, which give you a fantastic night view of the city along the Yangtze and the Jialing River. But you know, you can also do those in the daytime as well. There's nothing wrong with that. I think people are a little bit surprised to see me. I suppose the last couple of years, we haven't seen so many foreigners around in Chongqing. So I do tend to find that, you know, local people, especially the youngsters, can be a little bit surprised to see me nowadays. Another small challenge you have here when it gets really crowded is that the signal on your mobile phone gets very weak. And we had this experience last year for the fireworks display. So I've just taken a photograph and sent it in our little live stream group because we still haven't located any of the others yet. But even like one photograph is taking a long time to go through. So, 你们是本地的吗？
对，我们从这条对
我也是啊。OK， thank you。是你们第一次在解放碑过吗？
没有，我们经常来。
经常来啊。
对。
对对。
祝你玩得开心。
好的，好，新年快乐。
新年快乐。
One of the things that has really amazed me is just the incredible atmosphere. I don't know how many people there were here. I reckon at least there were like tens of thousands, if not the hundreds of thousands. And that was just here in Jiefangbei. I mean, I've seen some videos from other parts of Chongqing, such as the Ring Mall, which is close to where I live. And, you know, there were thousands of people packed in there too. If we look over that way towards the Metropolitan Oriental Plaza, you can see the streets are completely packed that way, and also the other direction too. Well, it's been many years since I spent a New Year's Eve like this, and I have to say it's definitely been worth it. I mean, I'm not sure I want to do this every year, but in the future, if there's a similar possibility where we could do a live stream link up with some other media organisations, yeah, then why not? I mean, this has been a really great experience. Hello. And of course, I want to wish all of you subscribers and people watching for the first time a very happy, healthy, prosperous 2024. Okay, so thank you very much for watching Trek China, and I will see you again for a proper trek one day very soon.